All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are gonna take a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhems, the villains of Wave 1. So we have Leatherhead, Superfly, Bebop, and Rocksteady. So let's give you a little close-up. So we got Leatherhead, the Raging Cajun Gator. Now these cards are pretty similar to the Turtles, except instead of having individual portraits, they have a collage of the Turtle Bros. Okay, but everything else is the same. They also have a brief description, but one thing they added here was the Mutant Menace meter. So I'm not sure what this scale is. Is it 1 to 5? But right here, Leatherhead's a 3. We'll take a look at Rocksteady, the Mutant Muscle. And again, a little brief description here. So pause if you want to read that. And again, he's a 3 on the Mutant Menace meter. We have Bebop, jacked up Warthog. Okay. And on the back, again, he's a 3. And lastly, I guess this is going to be the main antagonist, the boss of the mutants. You have Superfly, Fly Guy. And on the back here, oh look, he has a 5 on his Mutant Menace meter, so he's going to be a pretty bad guy. But that's it for the cards. Okay, so we're going to start this off with Leatherhead. So he comes with a painted weapon. So nicely done here, little silver and brownish orange coloring. Then he comes with the weapons rack. So it has a knife here, another gun. Not exactly sure what that is. And then he comes with some kind of trap. And then taking a look at Leatherhead. Now the mouth has no articulation here, but some nice detail, some little paint blotches here. Top of his hat. He has a holster for his weapon. Let's take a look at his articulation here real quick. So head, not much, no real movement up or down. He does kind of turn side to side, but his head kind of tilts like that. He does have a hinge in his shoulder. It can go up like that, and his elbows kind of bend backwards as well, but kind of weird. The elbow articulation is weird. He does have a swivel there, and then his wrist. His legs bend about that far, and rotation at the foot. Now he does have tiny legs. What helps him stand is the tail. The tail has a hinge on it. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is, because you're not really going to stand him up like that. But that's pretty much it for his articulation. He does have a waist swivel as well. He can hold his weapon quite nicely. It's nice and tight. The gun is more of a gummy kind of plastic, I guess you would say. It's really bendy and flexible, so that helps. But that's it for Leatherhead. Almost forgot was that Leatherhead can carry his weapon in the holster here. It is a tight fit, but it does go in. Okay, so out of the package, Rocksteady comes with a detached arm, so I guess that's how they fit him in the package, so we're gonna have to put that in. But his weapon rack here comes with a few more accessories. So he has another type of gun. So he has 2 different guns. He has I guess a sledgehammer, and then his infamous sewer lid shield, and then a knife. Okay, just one solid color. A little bit of marbleized grayish silver. So let's pop this on. Okay, so looks like that just goes in nice and easy. So there's Rocksteady with both arms. Now we're going to briefly go over articulation. They're all pretty much about the same, but some things like his head's a little different. So it just goes back and forth, no up and down. Kind of looks odd though. Okay, his arm, up that much, down this much. His elbow gets a little bend. And then the wrist. This one was stuck. I had to get it unstuck to get it to rotate, but no issues there. His legs. So his knee goes up like that. No boot swivel, but his leg does go in and out, rotate. Goes out, there you go. So he can do the splits. Pretty flexible rhino. So that's his articulation. It's kind of short, stout. Okay, so here's Rocksteady holding one of his weapons. It's a nice tight fit into his hand. It's not gonna shake loose. Okay, and he does stand pretty well for being so top heavy. He has a good balance to him. Okay, so here's Bebop. And one thing I just realized is that these weapon racks stand up on their own. We'll be like 7 figures in, and I just realized that. But let's take a look at his weapon. Very old school looking design with some upgrade, I guess. But again, one solid color. And then for his weapons, he has a knife, his lid shield. I think this is a barbed wire bat, it looks like. And then another minigun. Okay, now to take a look at Bebop. So he has some nice color. Okay, he has a tattoo across his chest. His knee pads, painted nails. He has his bracelets. Tiny feet for a big guy. Tiny feet. Looks like he has a belly piercing too as well. Has his shoulder pads, some detail on the back. He has a chain belt. I said old new school design. But his feet, he does stand up, but you're going to have to offset some of that balance. But let's take a look at the articulation. Once again, his shoulders go up. Now the shoulder pads are attached to the shoulder on the top. So they're not really going to hinder, other than it's going to look weird when you put his arm up. Again, elbow. Okay. And wrist rotation. Okay. His knee goes back that much. And no rotation at the foot like some of the other figures. Okay. Up and down so he can sit down. And if you wanted to rotate his legs, he can do the splits like that. Okay, so here is Superfly out of the package. And he comes with his wings, his gun, and the weapons rack. Looks like he has a fly swatter, which reminds me of Baxter Stockman. So we'll see how that plays out in the movie. And then a couple more weapons. This looks like, oh yeah, like a, it's not called a beaker, but some science thing. And then this looks like some vials here as well. But let me get the wings on them and get them together and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here he is with the wings on. They just plug into the back right here. Now there is a specific way you have to plug these in because of the design and the way they're cut out. But let's just look at it. I like his color. I like the blue. You got some painted veins right here. Okay, you got the sneaker kind of just stuck in his foot right there. You got the extra arms, those eyes, and the texturing on that detail. It's nice. You got the painted teeth. So overall, he looks really good. I like him. Can't wait to see what his story is in the movie. Okay, so we're going to take a look at his articulation. He has a little bit more range in that shoulder as it comes pretty much all the way up. Can go all the way around. Obviously, the wings are going to hinder that. No elbow articulation on this arm. This does rotate. Okay, but this arm, there is an elbow joint there. No wrist swivel, but it does rotate at the elbow. Okay, his legs. Oh wow, that foot could come all the way up like that and back that far. So interesting design there. Hinge out in, front, back. Okay, and no waist swivel. And then these are just stuck there. There's no articulation in these. His head back and forth, up, pretty good. That's nice, especially if you're flying, right? And then it rotates all the way around. Now for him being really top heavy with these tiny legs, he does stand up. Sometimes you might need to use this as kind of like a kickstand, but he does stand up. As you can see here, he's standing up really well, and that's not touching the table. So I like it. He looks nice. All right, here he is holding his weapon, nice and snug. And as you see, he's well balanced. So they did a really good job with these guys. Even with their small feet and being top heavy, they do balance pretty well so they can stand up. But let's line them all up so you can see kind of what their height differences are and the way they look all together. Okay, so here they are all lined up out of the package. And not much of a height difference between them. They're all roughly about the same height. Now the hardest one to stand is gonna be Bebop. You kind of gotta torque his feet a little bit, or tweak his feet a little bit to get him to stand. But like I said, Leatherhead's gonna have that tail to help him stand up. Rocksteady's feet are blocky, so that helps him. Superfly's pretty easy to stand, even though it looks like he has all the weight on one side. That claw does help if you need it to, but he stands up just fine. And then next we're gonna put the turtles next to him so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so here's the group shot. This is all of them standing next to each other. As you can see, there are different heights to them. So Raph obviously looks like the tallest and more stocky. But again, I love these figures. I love the design. I'm excited for the movie. My son has been playing with the turtles in the van ever since I opened them up. So these are going to be really fun toys for your kids and get them hopefully into the TMNT line and keep this line going for another 30 years. So let me know what you think of the review. I have individual reviews for the turtles themselves. I also have a review on the Pizza Fire van, aka the Party Wagon, so check those videos out. Let me know what you think. These are supposed to hit retail stores on the 25th, so these should be available online or at majority of your retail shops. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.